Hello. This is a short exercise class just to unwind you after you've been sitting for too long. It's all standing, you need nothing to help you. So start with your feet slightly apart and just start to bend and straighten your knees. And as you bend and straighten your knees, notice your feet on the floor. Notice the heel, the centre of the heel, and notice the inside and the outside of the ball of your foot. And you may feel that the weight changes as you bend and straighten your knees. Maybe it's the same on both feet, maybe it's different. Just notice it. Feel your calves stretching, particularly the lower part of your calves around your Achilles. Now come so that your knees are straight. Take your focus to your shoulders and just start to circle one shoulder. Little circles of that shoulder. There's nothing too forced, it's nothing too muscled. And you may just like to add a little bend of the knees as you're doing this, and a bend of the knees. And maybe add your elbow to this. Keep your head forward while you're doing this. And then lastly, it's the whole arm that you add. And your shoulders turn, but your head stays central. Make this the last one. Come back to that still point. One knee bends now, and then straightens, and the other knee bends. And the important thing about this one is that you have two panes of imaginary glass down each side of you. And as you're bending and straightening a knee, you're not bopping your pelvis into the pane of glass or your shoulders. You're already maintaining yourself between those panes of glass. You should feel that one side of your waist is lengthening while the other is shortening. You may also feel that one shoulder drops while the other one rises. This is because your pelvis is countering the movement of your pelvis, of your rib cage. Come back so both legs are straight now, and take your feet slightly further apart, just a little bit. And your hips now are just going to press to the side. Come back to centre, and press to the other side. Come back to centre. And as you do this again, your head is maintaining its central position. Now come back to the centre and lift your right arm up to the ceiling. I'm going to mirror you, okay? Press your hips over towards the right and side bend to the left. Take a breath into your side ribs here and then pull everything back up and the hand comes down. We'll do the same on the other side. So you're going to lift your left arm up to the ceiling and then your hips press towards the left. Side bend over towards the right. Breath into your side ribs and then pull yourself back up and the arm comes down. Adding on just a little bit to this. So the arm comes up, the hips press to the side. This time lift the other arm up and just take hold of the wrist and just give a little bit of an extra stretch here. Breathe in. As you breathe out, pull back to your centre. Arm lifts. Hips press to the side. Other arm comes up, take hold of the wrist, a little extra shift. The panes of glass are in front and behind you now, so you're trying just to not push your bum into the back or let your arms come too far forward. And then push and come back up. Both arms come up to the ceiling. You clasp your hands together and you turn the palms up and stretch your arms up. Again, the panes of glass are in front and behind, so make sure you're not pushing your hips forward as you lift up to the ceiling and look up. Stretch out to the side and bring your arms back down. The arms sweep forward again and they come out to the side. You turn the palms backwards bend your elbows and bring your hands onto your bum. Squeeze your elbows together. Make sure that your head hasn't poked forward. And I'm really using a little bit of bum action just to stop myself from letting my bum stick out. Elbows are squeezed, and then press the arms down, down, down. Turn the palms backwards, lift the arms up. Higher, 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 and release down. Just let those arms just swing here. And then you're just going to start to let your sternum, your breastbone, rock from side to side. And as your breastbone is rocking from side to side, your arms may swing. Your head really stays forward as this happens, and your pelvis is pretty much staying forwards as well. If you had a light on your breastbone, the light would be turning to the left and to the right. Come back and slow it down, and just bring those feet a little narrower. Take the arms out to the side. Hug around the trunk of a tree. Bend your knees a little bit, and then I want you to let your head lengthen forward as if you are just trying to rest your crown of your head against the trunk of the tree. And your knees are pressing against the trunk of the tree as well, but your breastbone is staying away from it. Breathe into your back here. And then slowly release the arms down and ripple back up to your standing position. Bring your feet wide. Both knees, both feet are straight forward. I'll go back a little bit. Both straight forward. And you're going to bend your knees. As you bend your knees, you're sending your hips backwards and leaning forwards. And then you're pressing to come back up again. And again, you send your hips backwards. Think of your sit bones spreading wide as you do this. And then come back up again. Add your arms to this. Send your hips backwards, spread your sit bones wide, bend those knees though. Chest stays lifted and all the way back up. We'll keep going with that. Leaning forwards but lifting that chest. It's almost like you're trying to peer over something and then standing back up. We'll change it just a little bit now. Now bend your knees, send your hips backwards. This time, sit yourself upwards, but keep the knees bent. And then press the arms all the way out and bring the arms down. I'll do it so that you can see from the side. You're going to bend your knees. As you bend your knees, you lean forwards, straight back though. Then sit yourself up as if you're sitting in a chair. Turn the palms out and press to come back to your start position. We'll do one more like that. Bending the knees, sending the hips backwards, leaning forwards with the arms. Up in the chair. Turn the palms and press to come back up. You're going to step your left leg forward. So if you look down at your feet, your left leg is forward of your right leg. Of course, I am mirroring you. And then you're going to turn around so that you're facing the side. And as you do that, your right foot is pointing towards midnight, if we were on a clock, but your back foot is pointing towards somewhere between 1 and 2 o'clock. It's slightly turned out. Start to bend and straighten your knee, your front knee as you do this. Now your front knee is probably going to go over your toe, but not too far over the toe. I want you to know that your weight still stays in your heels. So just bend that knee forwards and make sure you can lift your toes. Okay, if you can still lift your toes, then you're probably not going too far forwards, and then come back again. As for your back leg stays nice and straight and strong. Your hands are on your pelvis, and notice how your pelvis, if it had little headlights on it, they would be looking probably to about 1 o'clock on your clock face now. Bring your hands up to your ribs, and your ribs are also facing 1 o'clock probably, depending on where you're looking. Now turn your ribs, bend your knee, keep your knee bent, and turn your ribs so your ribs are facing towards midnight. And then lift your arms up to the ceiling, stretch up. We'll call this Warrior One. Now turn towards the screen with your breastbone and with your face, and bring your arms down to your side, still keeping that knee bent. We'll call this Warrior Two. Circle the arm round and down, back to where it started. Turn so that you're facing midnight. Lift your arms back up to Warrior One, and then back to Warrior Two. We'll do that one more time. Warrior One, and then back to Warrior Two. Stay here. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Turn your feet. Step that right foot forward. In fact, step it and then step the left foot back. And you're going to turn now to face the other direction. You've got your front foot at 12 o'clock and your back foot is now between 10 and 11 o'clock. You're going to start to bend and straighten your knees. Make sure that you can lift those toes. If you can lift those toes while you're bending that front knee, you're probably not going into anywhere dangerous for that leg. And then think of that strong back leg. Your pelvis is slightly rotated towards 11 o'clock. Your ribs follow your pelvis. Bend the knee, keep the knee straight, bent, and then rotate the ribs so that they're facing 12 o'clock with your foot, your front foot. Arms come up to the ceiling. Warrior One. Turn to the camera. Warrior Two. Keep circling all the way around. Back so that you're in line with your front foot. Lift the arms up to the ceiling. Warrior One. Turn to the screen. Warrior Two. Keep doing that. Warrior One and Warrior Two. We'll do one more. Warrior One and Warrior Two. Bring the arms down to your sides and turn yourself back to face the middle. Heels come in, toes come in, heels come in, until you're standing back up again. A little balance work just to finish with. Shift your weight over onto your right foot and just lift the left foot off the floor. Stay with that if you want to. If you want to make it more difficult, you can take hold of the knee. Release the leg back down. Shift onto the other leg. Lift that leg up. Hold. Don't worry if you fall over. You're only human. And then release back down. Arms come up to the ceiling. My Sainsbury's shopping is about to ring on the doorbell, so we're going to call it a day. Bring your hands down in front. And thank you very much.